by any means, so it does a real good job. I know Dave's got 2 of them. I'm jealous. I got another one. I'm gonna start trying to. I bought it at the same time as I got this one, and we made one out of the 2. But I'm gonna start trying to work on this stuff myself, and start trying to rebuild that one over the next while. That'll be something after I get done with my Johnson 500. And I don't know. Dave's got all of this stuff. Dave, you might have to call with one of them desks to me at some time or another. Kilowatt desk. I need another radio like I need a hoe in the head. My wife, she's about ready to kill me over my T368 purchase, but I'm kind of like the AA people. My name is Billy Chandler, and I have a problem. Ain't that what we discussed the other night, Dave? K04SSY-WB3ETN.
It's not a problem. It's I don't know, a disease or something. I've never had any trouble with my wife for bringing radios home. Now, if I'd have brought another woman home, that'd be a different situation. As far as bringing radios home, I think she sort of figured why it's keeping them out of the bar, and he's behaving himself. He's down in a cellar, maybe. I don't know. Never had any trouble. Never know, got too many of them or know that business. It's just, they don't care to come down here, but, she stays away from it, but she's never given me any trouble about what I bought her. A lot of times she went on road trips with me to pick something up. The secret to that is take her along and find a nice restaurant and get her something good to eat and, take her mind off the purchase, Billy. Sounded good tonight. 500's doing a good job. It was a little bit of a fade there, but coming through all okay. I just decided to fire this old Valiant up tonight. It hasn't been on in quite a while. In fact, Brett's the first QSO I have with it in a long time. It's paired up with my bench receiver here in SX 500. Hey, it's been purring along. I don't know how long it's going to purr along. It's been purring along for now. I think you might be right on the G76s, Brett, because I have 2 complete ones there, and the other one's a parts one because I stole parts out of it to get these. That's 3. I had one some years back that I sent up to my buddy Stephen Erie, so that's 4. I had them personally. So I'm sure there must be a few of them out. Must have been a few of them out around me. At least I had 4 of them. Okay, the ART-13 is a neat transfer. The hard part about it, ART-13 is getting that stinking plug. There's a loading plug. It screws on. They're not like $60 or $45 or $50. And it's really a little... You're probably better off to eliminate the plug. They run the high voltage and everything right in there. In the aircraft, they weren't running that much. I think I run 1,700 volts on mine. It's in with all the other cabling, control cabling and stuff. So you'd be better off to get inside there and just eliminate that and make your own. As far as it takes 28 volts for the heaters and to run the tuning motor and everything. I forget exactly how I did that. I know in the rack I have it sitting on top of the rack. In the rack I have an SP600 and a speaker in the bottom and the power supply in there. I must have had a bigger old transformer with higher voltage. I think there's a Variac in there. I think I just tuned the primary to transformer down to 28 volts or whatever. There's a meter right in the on the ART-13 that tells you where the battery board is supposed to be. I cranked it up to that and left it go. But they're neat. They're they're made for a trailing wire antenna. You need to change the output a little bit to get them to load to a 50 ohm, low impedance antenna. They work good. I think I put on the 811s. I think I some zero bias. I don't remember somehow, but I have higher voltage, so it's biased a little bit. Well, they got 175 or 200 watts, and works pretty well. There's a lot of old surplus conversion articles. I know it's a pretty good article somewhere here. This is basically what's done to the one I'm using. I have a couple other ones. One I started to work on a few years back and never did anything else with. There's another one out in the other side there that I've never done anything with. Brought it home, put it on the stack, and there it sits. And that's probably been 10 years ago. I don't know. That's how things tend to happen around here. Anyhow, good to hear you, Billy. Back to you, Brett. Into DTS with KO4SS. Oh, that's a hard call to say. I look at that, I want to say K0. KO4SSY. This is WB3ETN.
Yeah, that gets me too. WB3ETN K04SSY from Enter DTS. Yeah, I know, I did it on purpose. Oh, the Globe King 500's doing real good. I like those transmitters. Although yours doesn't sound like a Globe King. It sounds good, so I missed the Globe King sound there. But Dave, the Valiant is just percolating along. I haven't seen it drift. I don't know if you've been correcting it. I haven't seen anything. It's just been rock solid. And my receiver's been rock solid, just sitting on 3885 all night long. Usually it drifts around a little bit. It'll go 100 hertz here or there, but that's just this is solid as your Valiant. Now maybe it just needed a rest, and now it's going to work real good. It's going to say, like, I don't want to sit on the shelf anymore. I'm going to behave. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, I think it's a pretty cool ART-13. Maybe fire that up next time. Rotate that one through the mix. I always like hearing them. And Buzz up in Rhinebeck, he comes over from New York on the weekends, and he has one. He's got a number of real fun toys that he stashes out of the city, and he's been running the ART-13 with a dynamotor recently, and there's a little whirring sound in the background. So it's always good to hear them on. I don't hear a lot of them on like I used to. People seem to have graduated to broadcast transmitters and SDRs, and they don't run the old classic military stuff as much as you used to hear. You used to hear, you know, the Globe Kings on all the time, the KW1s, the ART-13s, maybe the 30K1, 30K4. You would hear them pretty often. There used to be quite a few. Globe Kings used to be really popular. That was an affordable, popular rig on the surplus market after everybody went solid state. And you could pick one up really reasonably. But a lot of times now, people won't even tell you what they're running. They don't even mention it unless you ask. And I always curious as to what people are using. That's part of the fun part, is the equipment. So, a lot of times nobody will ask. I was pointing out earlier, you know, that there used to be a lot of talk about the equipment, and people would be interested in, like, oh, that's cool, like, what are you running, this, that, and the other thing. But I mean, you can get on the air now most of the time, and you can tell people you're running 6 water-cooled 6AQ5s as an RF final, and I'm getting like 400 watts out, you know, of it, and like, okay, I'm running an ICOM 7300. Like, they wouldn't find that remarkable. I tell people, yeah, I got a screen modulated rig, I need a 200 watts carrier, I'm modulating with a 6EW7, and it's like, okay, well, why not, you know, like, well, that's kind of unusual. A miniature 9-pin tube modulating a 200 or 250 watt carrier. But nope, it goes right over, and it's like, don't want to know. So anyway, I was always thought that, like, maybe some old telco equipment, old microwave radio setups used to use 24 volts. Like the telephone plant used 48 volts for everything. They powered everything off a 48 volt battery string, but a lot of the microwave radio, for some reason, was 24 volts. And I thought, you could get one of those kind of power supplies. They're probably surplus somewhere, and probably do really well for an ART-13. And there was a guy who lived locally here who had an ART-13. He moved out, SSJ I think his call is. He moved out to out in the Midwest somewhere, and he sold his ART-13 before he moved, and he tells me he always misses it. Anyway, it's getting late, and I think the band is changing, and I'm going to check out what the wife's up to. I don't want to leave her to her own devices for too long. So I'll turn it over to you there, Bill. KO4SSY. Got to think about that with WB3ETN. It's been a great pleasure, Dave, and glad you jumped in there, Bill. Give Dave someone to talk at. Over to you, and take care, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure.
KO4SSY with N2DTS Brett, going 73s. Top of the day to you, Brett. Appreciate you so. Appreciate y'all letting me jump in. Man, I'm sitting there going through your pictures. I'm totally jealous. I always wished I could work on this stuff. Wish I had the intelligence to. Well, if I just had half of yours, I'd be okay. It looks like that's some awesome looking stuff. But I have the Valiant over under the bed. I need to drag back out at some point, but I don't know what the audio starts going to crap on it after it warms up. And I have no idea. I've got to start trying to figure out how to work on this stuff. I've got too much of it. Hauling it back and forth 2 or 3 hours to get it worked on every time, paying for that and the gas, and back and forth. More than that, picking it up and putting it back down weighs over 100 pounds every darn time. I'm back in the shape it's in. I just need to, I've got to learn how to work on it myself. Got to start doing it no matter what. If I can ever get the parts in for this Johnson 500 and get it recapped, try to get it up on there. I've got to get me a shed. Got a really nice 75A2 over there. It just drifts all over the darn place. I just can't seem to figure out. I put a new tubes in the VFO section up the other day. I don't know. that going somewhere that really knows what they're doing. Maybe that'll come later, usually. I hope, because I like this stuff too much. And yeah, John, I know it's a sickness. It's, and my wife sure doesn't know it. Oh, me, but as you said there, Dave, at least it's not in the bar somewhere. She knows where I'm at. Even though she'd rather me just be sitting down there with her, looking at the ceiling or whatever than up here. But, this hump, I guess we'll be okay. But anyhow, back up to you, WP3ET.
Yeah, okay, Billy. Adios, sir, Brett. Still listening. Good run across this evening. As always, interesting QSO. We didn't talk about bikes or anything this time. Mostly radio. Catch up with you later, I'm sure. I haven't touched the VFO. Looks like it might have. I'd say it might have slipped up the band. I still see it flopping between 49 and 50. I guess it's doing okay for as old as it is. And I guess if it quits, it deserves it. For old as it is, and the way I've neglected it, it's been sitting there quite a while. Hasn't been used. I went through that broadcast transmitter stage. I had 3 or 4 of them around here. And they're okay. They're easy to work on. Man, you can just open the back door and walk right in. You know, you can only run so much. The antenna stuff only handles so much power to start with. And it is deep for a lot of the broadcaster. I have an audio console here. I never use it some of the things. I was going to go through all that business, but I just never did. I'm talking about supply for that ART-13. I just remember last I got a big old Rat Mountain military supply. It's about the size of an R390. And I think that's what it is, a 28-volt supply. But it, if I'm not mistaken, I think it has selenium rectifiers in it. That'd be the first thing you have to change. It's got the big pressure transfer. They give you 28 volts anyway. And your high voltage for the modulator and all that. Look in there, it's sitting there in the floor. I can flip that over and look into it. Another one of those things that I saw on the computer and just had to have, and it was local. You couldn't ship it. You could barely carry it. I think it was up in Altoona or somewhere I picked it up. I think when I did it, the thought was it'd be good for an ART-13. I'll have to check that out and see if it is. Yeah, that's the way to learn to work on. Jump in there and learn how to do it, Billy. That's what you need to do. I have an A2 here. I haven't used it in a while either. In fact, I have 2 A1s, an A2, an A3, and 2 A4s. Why I need all of them, I'll never know. The A4s both are in line. The A3's over on the other side above the computer there. I can turn it on and listen to it. The A2's sitting on a shelf. The A3's over there. I got those all at one time. I had an old buddy that was into it big time. He had the disease every bit as bad as I do, I guess. But things changed in his life, and different events happened, and he got out of it and left things set for years. He was in a property that Wanda's father, I believe it was, and it was being sold, needed cleaned out. Long story short, he called me up one day and said, hey, I want to get rid of all this gear down here. This is what I want for it. Come down and get it. And it was a heck of a price. I didn't need it. I didn't really want it. I went and got it, and I told him, you ever want to get back into it, or you want to do it, give me a call. I'll fix you right back up. That's probably been 10 years ago, and I think his license expired. I don't think he's ever going to get back into it. Wish he would. Him and I went to Amfest all over the country. But life has a way of changing things. Well, I got a million projects here. I got one on the bench now. It's a 1947 or 48 AM transmitter. It's called a Supreme AF100. Only made him like 1 or 2 years. Really rare tube lineup. It's a really well built thing. It weighs about 150 pounds. It's hard to work on. Just to stand up and roll over and look underneath it, it's a chore. I gotta get that thing going, just so I can get it off the bench. Don't plan on using it, but it's in the road. I need to get it out of my way so I can put something else up on that. Have a little stand that's on casters. I can move up to the desk and work on things, and it's been tying it up too long, so I need to get that thing going. So that's what's going on there. I'm not going to stay in there too much longer. I thought old Brian might show up, but I imagine maybe the band is too short. He's probably not hearing me. Oh, 73's, Brett. Catch up with you later. Enjoyed it. Back it comes, Bill. Well, that's hard to say. I look at that call, I want to say KT. KO4 SSY WV3TX.
Yeah, I can hardly hear you, Dave. That's why I didn't jump in. N3TBW.
Yeah, okay, I can hear. I can tell you're there, but you're down in the mud.
Yeah, how you doing there, Billy? KO4SSY, N3TBW here. In Delmont, Pennsylvania. Oh, just messing around here in the shack. I've been monitoring the frequency here for the last, a good while anyway. I could really not hear Dave at all. I mean, he could fade in occasionally, with somewhat of a good signal, but then, it would just, he would fade back out again, so we're just too close, and the band stretch lost its local propagations. But earlier, we had propagations on. It was nice, just basically like sitting in the room here and putting the R390 signal meter over, dB meter over to the peg. So anyway, just listening in there for a little bit. Not doing a whole lot here, just kind of tinkering around here in the shack on little odds and end projects here. So, when do you think you're going to pick up that T3 there, Billy? We're back down to you, N3TBW.
Oh, God. I don't know. I mean, I guess it just depends. I'll probably drag my, what I done when I went up to Harvard and picked up that KW1 is I got a 7x14 enclosed trailer. And I was just able to back it pretty much right up to the back of the house, lay down the bed, and I got a dolly, and we got it set up on that dolly, and I got them to get it broke over, and once I got it broke over, I had them to kind of just guide me, and I pulled it off in there and set it up, strapped it down, brought it home, and I moved it a couple times that way. But that one there, where it's at, is going to be difficult. You ain't going to be able to get down there. I'm going to have to get it, I don't know, back door and across some, I guess, wet area up to a tennis court or something to get it loaded. It's going to be quite the deal, I'd imagine, Brian. And then she messaged me back today and asked me if I wanted the 390 to go with it. It's a really nice piece also, too. So, and then she's asking $6 for that. So, and, you know, there that is. So, and I told her I'm going to try to anyway, so, because, you know, that's pretty much what they ran those with when they ran them, so. It's always spinning, so. I didn't know if you get back up there today, WB3 ETN, L4SSY with N3 TBW.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, go get it. Don't let it sit around, boy. Go get it. Drag it home. Especially with the 390. Great receivers. Wouldn't do without 390. 398. There's 4 of them. Never with too many ultra 390s. But I'm going to jump out of here. Good, Brian got in there. I'm having a hard time here. Maybe I can hear it. My wife just come down the steps. Said something to me. I wasn't sure quite what she wanted, but I got the impression she wanted me to come upstairs. So we'll go up there and see what's going on. I'll let the rig go. I'm still on the Valiant, Brian, but apparently you're on a bigger transmitter. I can hear about at least 90% of the picture. You're certainly not up where you were. I'm going to jump out temporarily. I'll let you guys carry on. If I get back down and you're still there, I'll jump back in. If not, hey, enjoyed it. Catch up with you later. N3 TBW with KO4SSY. WB3E10 going up the steps.
Yeah, okay, Dave. WB3E10. N3 TBW on T3 number 1. Also with the R390A. So, okay, we'll catch you later, Dave. I'll catch up with you later. I don't know how long I'm going to stay on here either. I got, I guess it's only a little after 9 o'clock, so it's not too bad. I'll probably get off here before too long, maybe half hour, 45 minutes. So we'll see. Maybe we'll still be hanging around here. Yeah, very good there, Billy.